this is a reliable car. This car was good on gas, cheap to insure, always started up in the morning, stopped in a straight line. It was a good car. And because of its color, people called it the Eggplant. If you parked it underneath a street light and walked by it, it would change colors. It had a paint job on it that wasn't put on with a brush. It was put on with a spray.
Every Plymouth Neon comes with an advanced single overhead cam 16-valve engine, and its 132 high-tech horses should come in mighty handy when you're trying to coax your car onto a freeway. $94.75 for starters, $13,000 nicely equipped. Say hello to Plymouth Neon.
The new Dodge Neon is loaded with great stuff. A 132-horse engine, 4-wheel independent suspension, even theater-style lighting, and a standard 6-speaker stereo. Perfect for those heavy dates. Dodge Neon. Different.
Now, there's a history with the Eggplant. The Eggplant was mine and my ex's car. And when we split, he got the Eggplant because he needed a car.
Romney and Eve gave me the Eggplant after I was driving home from work late one night in Barnard. It's about 11:30 in the fall, and I hit an 8-point buck with my Saab. That's where the Eggplant came from. And so I proceeded to drive it. It had about 103,000 miles on it. And when the inspection sticker was about to run out in June, that's when the gas tank fell out of it. About 4 days before the end of June.
Death with dignity for a car like that means you got to do something unique for it. You got to give it it's an American car. It has to go out an American way, which takes us to the story about Thunder Road.
You know, I worked for a summer up at the granite quarries, and when I worked up there, all the guys on Thursdays were like, "Well, we're going to Thunder Road." I didn't have any idea what this was, and they just looked at me dumbstruck. They didn't know anybody who didn't go to Thunder Road on a Thursday night. So they brought me there, and I brought the family there. But for those first few years, that was where I liked to go.
Tell me what you're trying to say when you look at me. Oh, that way. Consequences of my action, surely based on your attraction. Tell me what you're trying to do when you go and strut the way you do. Oh, honey, I see you walking. Let your legs do the talking.
The enduro is known as the people's race. A bit communist sounding for my taste, but the fact is nearly any fool with a rusted out beater can enter, and does. This year, there are 100 cars loaded up on Thunder Road, ready to rip, shred, and smash each other until one car reaches 200 laps, 50 miles, and $3,000. The only time they stop the race is when a car is on fire or when a car flips over. And until the race stops, the driver must stay in the car. When a car dies on the track in the middle of traffic, the car stays there. An obstacle for everyone else to avoid. The Eggplant was ready to make her last moments count and had a fool willing to drive her.
I was a fellow driver. I drove the 56. This is my second enduro. So I guess where I'll start is I go to work and I drive by Phil's house every day. He's my neighbor. And one day I happen to notice he's got this car in the yard and got no taillights in it, no headlights, got everything in a freaking wheelbarrow. All the windows and everything. I'm like, he must be racing the enduro.
The Eggplant needed an elegant exit from this world. And it wasn't really, the engine was awesome and it kept on going, but it was riding on the springs. There was no more suspension. You go over a bump and you're like, and then I think the last straw was when the gas tank finally fell out. and that was that. So he's like, enduro.
When I stripped out the car, it was fun because I'd never done it to a car before, and so it was. I like to consider the Eggplant a luxury vehicle because it gave me the luxury to do whatever the hell I wanted with it. It didn't matter. I could scratch it, bang it, ding it. I carved a P into the door with a key just because I could. Stripping it out was it was a process, and it was hot. It was a hot summer, and so taking it all out and learning how essentially a car is put together by dismantling it was fantastic. We ended up taking all the innards, like all the door panels, the roof, the interior of the roof, the carpeting, and that went to a dumpster that I didn't own. The fin was Romney's idea to begin with. She wanted to do a mohawk, and I asked, there was a woman in the Thunder Road office, I asked if that would be okay. And she said, yeah, that sounds all right. And she said, we've had toilets on the top of cars in the past. And so I think it was the Friday before I took off from work and figured out the design, did what we could. Noodles are outrageously expensive that time of year. They're not $1 a shot anymore. And I think the fabric cost about 58 cents.
But anyway, in the end, there it was. And everybody was there. And they were talking about, like, what are we going to do to make it all cool? And I'm thinking Burning Man style. And, LED lights and craziness and stuff like that. So what ended up happening was these swimming noodles. And that we were going to attach, like, to make it like fins, like a fish. And I don't know what that has to do with an eggplant, but it seemed like a cool idea at the time. And this netting, this pink netting that go in between the fins, because, fish have these netting things, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. And then I was thinking, we could run up LEDs, up the spines. We could just have, like, we could get, like, put it in the cigarette lighter and have these USB LED lights. And, I was kind of dreaming and being all crazy. But this is what you do, like, 2 days before you're going somewhere.
I guess it was. I guess the Eggplant was as safe as any other car. Maybe not quite as safe as a 80s Cadillac, but would be safe enough.
The roll cage, the guy who welded it, Mike Enman, he had advised me that rather than having to buy the metal it required for a roll cage, which was 1 3/4 inch pipe, that I could get it from an old rusty swing set. And so that's what I did. I put an ad out on FreeCycle, and a woman responded. I went out there with a Sawzall and chopped it up one afternoon. Had a roll cage.
So I figured that the swing set steel was going to be fine for the roll cage. Well, that should work. I mean, it's steel and it's round and tough. And how bad could it be?
Did I think the roll cage was safe? I didn't know. I didn't want to test it. But I didn't know. I had no idea. Again, I don't have any racing experience. I've never been upside down in a car, even in a civilian way. So I didn't think about it much. I just thought, yes, I've had a professional welder put it in. It's going to be safe. I'm going to be fine.
He had the most offensive logos on your car of any car in the race. It was all kinds of decorations on all kinds of cars. But a Blumpkin, for goodness sake, to put me in the position, or you in a position of how to explain to our mother what a Blumpkin was, or rather just to tell her, you know what, I'd rather not explain it to you, Ma.
So we are waiting for the number 2 car, Phil Stevens. Here he comes now. Fresh out of the garage, done with his welding for the day. That's right. There he is now. Let's give it up for Phil Stevens.
Now, The Eggplant had some modifications to it, and it wasn't road legal anymore. I mean, when a gas tank falls out of a car, they're just not going to license those kind of things. It's not inspected. This car is going to Thunder Road, and most everybody's got a trailer or a hauler or something to get the truck up there, but not the Eggplant. The Eggplant had to drive up the quarry road almost 2 miles from where it was housed, where it was Philip's home. And you had to choose a time of the day where the law wasn't going to see you running down the road illegal. That's basically the crack of dawn.
Didn't think the windshield wipers would come into play much. So I may be wrong about that. Alright, so we're about to transport this sucker. I'm giving it one last caress before it leaves the nest. It has little eggplants of its own and gets demolished into many other little eggplants. So what's the plan here to what's the transportation plan that we're executing? Well, wipe off all the ground pulverized rubber that I used the grinder on so we could weld the roll cage in yesterday. And under the cover of the dawn sky, while the hornet's nest of the local law enforcement makes their way and drinks coffee, we'll be going up and around town and through a small portion of the southern part of town to get to Thunder Road and leave it there. It's gonna be fun. Are you the creator of the fin?
I was a helper of the implementation of it. I had the idea of the mohawk, and then it turned into the fin.
And you're leading our motorcade this morning?
Yep.
All right. I mean, the sun had really just come up. It was still just barely dawn. And you can see the heavy dew on the windows. We're driving slowly, and the lights, are shining bright. But, what you can't tell really is just how damn loud your car was. I mean, you don't go and mow your lawn next to the neighbor's window at 5:30 on a Saturday morning, but that's basically what we were doing. By the time anybody would get bothered by it, you were already gone. But we didn't go too fast. We were all running together, so I felt like, the Barry cops would probably understand, but maybe I don't know the Barry cops so well. And we made it.
And when we got there, that's when we found that the gates were closed, and we hadn't anticipated that part of the adventure.
Well, I don't know what to do. Except ask that feller who's got a better, bigger truck and delivery system. He certainly seems to know what he's doing. Yeah, but has he got a set of keys? I don't know. There's another car that's behind us that's parked also. That's technically private land, although I'm in a no parking spot also. We could go to the upper field, but then we risk having to come down again. I did hear some sort of metal crack on this thing as I was turning around, so I might have to look under and see what we got. Well, there's straps dragging underneath on the ground. Oh, that's right, I forgot to cut that off. Okay. Which is fine as long as you're driving straight, but backing up might be an issue for those straps. I was gonna cut them off. No, I forgot that. Small technicality. I don't know, maybe we should have a powwow with this feller and
See if he's got any more information or ideas than we got. Because I must admit I'm at a loss as to what to do. Certainly nobody would be so ignoble as to tow the car away. No, how'd it do? I mean, we were doing 40. Solid?
Yep.
Excellent. That's cool. Yeah, I kept trying to put on my blinker, like turn signals. It didn't work. In fact, I don't know if I have a chance, but maybe smash those off the steering wheel. You can see how much clearance my fingers actually have between the roll bar and the steering wheel. Not a lot. Not a lot. Doing a lot of that, exactly what Mr. Grimm in Driver's Ed told us not to do, just palm the wheel. Thankfully, we're only turning one direction. It's not a rally race. So I guess I'll get out and talk to the guy with better resources.
Randy Johnson was there shortly after we arrived, and he pulled up, and he was an immense help in kind of setting us into a more calm place. He gave us a lot of advice. He was pitted next to us. His crew helped us out a lot during the race, and it all began with that bright pink morning.
And I meet Phil there, right in front of me, and I look at his car and I'm just like, there's no way this car's going to race. Because you got to pass inspection to get into the race.
Pre-race tackle. Was your car ready?
The trailer tire's flat.
It was mostly ready.
It goes down there.
Yeah,
on the right. The car's on
I knew there were problems, so hold on.
Flat on the right. Hey, you go up another 3 feet.
I had a list. Thanks to the photographer we have here. Things that I needed. Some of them I didn't realize I needed. And some of them I figured I'd get later. But we need to get water jugs. We need to get some chain to wrap for the bumpers so that they don't fall off and go all around the track. So it'd be kind of funny. We'll bring some gasoline. I forgot Jesus. Jesus will be in the car with us. I did bring the monkey. Monkey's here. The baseball bat. You gotta get one of them. And we anticipated the hood pins, but we didn't anticipate them at 8 o'clock in the morning.
How much money did I spend at the local hardware store that morning? It's tough to say because there are about 3 or 4 different trips. I'd say it was probably in the neighborhood of a good $100 to get what we needed.
At one point, you were off to the store running an errand, picking up some sort of part. And the fellas came over and said to me, well, let's run down the checklist. Have you got the battery strapped down? And I said, oh, yeah, I'm sure he's got that. And we opened up the hood. No, the battery wasn't strapped down. No hood pins. You know, no double straps under the gas tank. I mean, it was just like one thing after another. I thought we weren't going to make it. You know, we were sweating it right up to the very end. And there's no second chances on this. These guys come by and they look at it and, you know, they either give you that smiley face sticker or not. And if they don't, then your day's done. And you sit in the stands if you want to.
Very delicate.
But that's all.
We were concerned about the Eggplant passing inspection. For the race, we had some tack screws and some metal strips that we put in there to secure the gas tank back up into its original position. We also had 2 ratchet straps, which the inspectors liked a lot. And they passed us. We got the smiley sticker on the dashboard, so we were pretty happy.
Now let's turn this thing back over here because I'm talking to a bunch of people that haven't got the whole story yet. Because in order for the Eggplant to do Thunder Road, Eggplant's got to have all kinds of support people. You got to have the people that distract the cops going from Phil's house to Thunder Road. You got to have the people that build the roll cage out of a, well, I mean, he used a swing set to build a road cage, for Christ's sakes. Come on. Then you got the people that got to change the tires because there's so much iron on the road that you got to change tires, mechanics, and all that stuff. I think we'll be able to tell you who they all are.
No, the band of idiots that were in my pit crew were just as crazy as I was to have accepted the mission to do it. Because just like I had no experience racing, none of them were mechanics.
I was totally backed up with obligations, so I couldn't help out in the beginning. But at the very end, when it was time to break stuff, I was there.
So now this is Ron modeling the Eggplant crew T-shirt with
I have no last name.
The logo.
The Eggplant.
And the number 2 on the back. Very fashionable. Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome. I had some previous mechanical experience and could change some brakes, change an exhaust system. You take what experience you have and you throw it into a different environment, and things don't go as planned.
Stuart will model for us the Eggplant team T-shirts. Complete with Eggplant
Props to
logo.
Mom for getting those T-shirts together. I mean, she did that maybe 30 minutes before the race started. She went out and bought a stack of these things. She was asking what color the T-shirt should be. We didn't plan all this really in advance. Kind of teamwork that made all this experience. Is seat of the pants kind of fun.
I've been to Thunder Road. I had not ever been in the pit crew before, or even actually in the pits at all.
Randy Johnson showed up, and he pulls right in. He's in his car, and we're like, okay. So we pull in right behind him, and then he gets out, and Phil and him get to talking, and then they come over to the car and looks at the windshield wipers, sees that they're cut. They're like, yeah, we didn't need them. And he was like, well, that was a rookie move. And immediately I'm like, oh no. We're like, oh, we need those? So I was like, I was feeling kind of responsible for these windshield wipers. I mean, these things are and if I had known the depths of hell that these windshield wipers would have taken me, I probably would have been throwing up the whole time. It was just these windshield wipers, these windshield wipers. So I'm like, okay, well, we got to get these things put together. And so, I'm looking at it. Luckily, it was a nice clean cut. And I got wire splices, and I got the whole works to get this thing back together. When I got back to the track, I was there with my crimpers and my tools, and I rewired windshield wipers. I checked out the fuse. I pulled the fuse out, and it was blown. Okay. So I know sometimes they keep spares. So I pulled a fuse, what I thought was the spare, and it was the right amperage. Pull out the fuse and put it into the windshield wiper slot. Great, they work. We're set, good to go.
The Eggplant was going to go out first practice run, and I'd gotten up on the hill.
It's not starting.
Ready to take some video footage, and I look down
It's not
and I
starting.
see the rest of my team pushing the Eggplant around.
I have no
It's
ignition.
not moving on its own.
I'm thinking, yeah, we've got everything together. We're ready to go. We're ready to race. No, I guess we're not.
We pop the clutch. So,
key on?
back out, pushing. It's like, and it just nothing will make it work. It was like the end of the world. There is something really bad. It's moving, everything's there, but it's just starting. And it was like, this is beginning to race. This is gonna be it. And I knew it was gonna be my fault. It was gonna be my fault. All my fault. Oh, I was just so mad. I couldn't figure it out.
Pop it! It's popped!
Then all of a sudden, I see another car getting up behind the Eggplant. This is one of the cars that's going to be in this race, and trying to push the Eggplant around. And the Eggplant is not starting. And we had it running. It was running just before.
it was embarrassing to be in the pits getting pushed around by the pit crew, by the laborists. I just couldn't do anything but bang my head against the steering wheel and scream at myself and think, this is the way the Eggplant is going to die. Here, she hasn't even hit anybody yet. She hasn't been hit by anybody yet.
Thank God Romney had the presence of mind to think about the whole thing that had gone on before with fuses, and remembered that you couldn't see where you were putting a fuse in because the doors were welded shut, and you couldn't even see where your hand was to see the fuses. And she realized that one of the fuses was not in the right spot. The Eggplant started right up.
So you finally do get out there on the track to do your practice lap. The number 2 in with all the odd numbered cars. And I just got to tell you, I wanted so badly to be in that driver's seat. I wanted to be the one there and going round and round and feel those high banks and my car tilting and try to listen for the tires squealing and feel the speed going around there. I wanted to be there.
My car died! It's so healthy now. It's okay.
Right, so what I want to know is, what was it like being out there on the track for the first time in your life?
It was sketchy. It was sketchy. Well, you couldn't hear anything. You couldn't hear your tires squealing, so you couldn't really tell how much force you were going on the outside. You know, it's not like a freaking video game. You know, like I play a lot of that, you know, awesome racing team game thing. It was sketchy. It was sketchy. I didn't want to hit the wall. I won't hit the wall. Just slowly, surely.
I want to hit a wall.
I want to hit somebody else to hit the wall.
I rear-ended a car the other.
No, wait, I want to know what's going on with the fin there.
The fin is becoming stabilized. It ripped off on the second lap of the practice lap.
Ripped off on the second lap?
Yeah, so we zip tied it along something. It probably is going to last very long. We should make a sub bet on the number of laps the fins hold up on. The fins versus the car.
101 through 125, the grass area behind the berm. We're lining this loop up.
I know what you're thinking, but those aren't the folks you should be worrying about. No. The folks that would do harm to the Eggplant are the other drivers. Beasts the Eggplant is racing up against. They may look like rednecks in rust buckets, but there's veterans out there, guys like Randy Johnson, Dipstick Don, guys who've done the enduro so many times it comes natural as pouring syrup on pancakes.
It took a long time to get lined up. First we were behind the berm, turn 1, 2, sat there for a while, and all I could do was sit in my car, and everybody else is out there lounging and talking to people and waiting for things to happen, and I couldn't relax. I stayed in my car. Sat there, I turned on my radio. I just tried to make light of it, but I was...
Now, as long as there's some people behind me, you know, I don't want to be on the last row. So, it looks like I got at least a little barrier. The barrier is important because, you know, I'll keep my trunk as long as I can.
All right, let's hear you fire it up. Let's... I see a thumbs up, buddy.
And then after that, it was just this interminable wait. You know, they had other events going or something. They, you know, got everybody lined up, and it was just this long spell of hurry up and wait, get in your line, and you know, where you wound up relative to the front of the pack, you know, it's kind of random actually. So, everybody's out there. And, of course, in the end, it doesn't really matter where you start. It matters how long you stay in there.
Okay, how did I think that the Eggplant was going to do in the Enduro? I had no idea how it was going to do. I mean, I figured, you get some laps in. I mean, the engine was great. I wasn't sure about the tires.
I stayed in my car. And then they finally called us out, and we go past all of the other cars. There were 100 cars in the race. And we went out onto the track, and suddenly it's opened up into this big bowl that is Thunder Road. And we've got hundreds of thousands of people up there on the dam.
Okay, we're here interviewing our first driver, and what's your name?
Beverly.
Beverly, is this your first Enduro?
It is.
Now, what possibly possessed you to get involved and try driving the Enduro?
Well, I've been a scorer for 5 years, and it's been enticing to try to see if I could drive, and I was given a car, so here I am.
Okay, let's meet our next Enduro driver. What's your name?
Craig Jennings.
And Craig, where are you from?
Milton.
And how many Enduros have you done?
Oh, probably 10.
All here at Thunder Road?
Most of them here.
Now, what's your best finish?
13th.
13th is pretty solid here. Definitely at Thunder Road, one of the most competitive Enduros in the state, if not the most competitive. Do you have a strategy for today's race?
Stay running. That's it.
Driver, what's your name?
Scott Carr.
And where are you from?
Putney, Vermont.
And is this your first Enduro?
Third.
Third Enduro here at Thunder Road?
Yeah, it's the only place I race.
All right. Now, what's your best finish so far?
I'm not really sure. I had a guy on my roof last time. I put him on his roof and he landed on and blew up my car, so I didn't make it too far.
All right, our next Enduro competitor, what's your name?
Justin Robbins.
And Justin, how many Enduros have you done?
Probably 50.
50 Enduros. Okay, so we've been
doing it since I've been 16.
We might have a professional Enduro racer here racing the number 88. Tell us, what's your best finish in an Enduro?
First.
You finished first. All right. So this is one of the guys we need to watch today. Yeah. What's your strategy out there today?
Hopefully, right? Try to survive till closer to the end and try to put down some good laps at that point.
All right. Well, good luck. We'll be watching for that orange cone number 88.
All right. Thank you very much.
Randy, how many years you run this race?
15 or so.
Yeah. What's the best you ever done?
6.
And what was better about that year? What happened that year that was better than others?
Got lucky.
You got lucky?
There's been a lot of times where you get hit by somebody coming across the infield. I mean, it takes you out. I've done 10 laps before.
Is that the worst one? Yeah.
But it's inexpensive, fun. I like it.
How many have you finished?
Oh, I don't know, 10. Well, I finished most of it. I guess I haven't finished like 2.
Okay.
But finished in the top 10, I don't know, maybe 10 times.
Wow.
So it hasn't been too bad. I've been right there.
Yeah. You
just got to learn to be calm. Somebody hits me more than once, I get really mad. I'll go after them. Take them out.
Now you've got half the story, because I haven't told you the part about when the Eggplant gets on the track. What happens in the pits, what happens inside the car.
Well, nothing much happened the first 10, 15 laps. I think it was about then that I was starting to get more comfortable. I'd had a couple of bumps. People had bumped me from behind, and maybe I'd bumped a couple people, but it was very benign stuff. It wasn't really causing problems. It wasn't until on the backstretch I came out of turn 2, and there was a car right there behind me, and I think I was being aggressive and may have been trying to push him a little bit. And I pushed him this way, and I think my front tire caught, because then the car, the Eggplant, she didn't like it at all. She zipped right across into traffic, and that's when we got slammed, and then off into the infield.
We look, and there you've got steam coming up out of your radiator, and I'm thinking, God, man, we just got started already. But you didn't wait very long, man. You just hit the pedal, went through the rest of the infield, picked it up about turn 4, and got right back into it.
The first time the Eggplant came in for pits, I was quite scared. I'd only changed tires for my grandfather at his garage, and it was a very slow process for me. And I realized that I didn't really know what to do.
But of course, the first time the Eggplant came in, it's because Phil and the Eggplant, they got nailed
on the track, and Phil's seat is in the reclining position, and Phil's only able to hold himself upright because he's got a steering wheel to hold on to. Now we had to improvise there. We ended up with Eggplant spare tires behind Phil's seat.
Hey, listen, we put one tire lying down, another one standing up on end to buffer it against that bar.
And then they just stuffed tires behind the seat, and they stuffed the leftover shirts that Mom got everybody behind them. Then they took off, and the rest of the car, he's just driving like this, resting on purple shirts and tires. It's kind of cool.
Set these tires up on the inside of the turns when it gets started, these stacks of tires about 4 or 5 high. And what does that do? Well, it just means that as soon as guys start going inside the turns to avoid each other, they start knocking stacks of tires over. So now you got this tires rolling all over the track.
Phil's driving around real slow because he's got a tire stuck in his front end. We all know he has a tire stuck in his front end. Phil does not know he has a tire stuck in his front end. Like literally somebody's wheel came off and got jammed under his front fender, and he was driving around with that tire probably about 5 laps.
Oh, his front end's going up.
Williamstown is on fire. First red flag of the event.
Finally, they stopped the race for a bit so that the cars that were on fire could be put out. And in the meantime, I'm like radio with Phil, just back up like 5 yards.
Tell him to go in reverse.
I'm sorry, what happened? Is my car alright? Is it still there? Is it still there?
Back in 5 yards, the tires finally just snapped off. But, I mean, dragging that thing around as far as he did was amazing. after. Oh my god. The guys around us were like, we know what to do. And we watched. So not prepared.
Alright, mid-race interview. How's it going out there?
I just pushed the motherfucker right off the fucking track. It was awesome. I saw him, I don't know, I think he cut in on me or something. Next thing I know, his whole side is right in front of me. I just kept pushing. I don't know where he went. It don't matter. I've had a number of guys like, I don't know, it feels like they're being real aggressive. I don't know.
They are.
That can go on that tire. You just behind your seat. Sure.
Being a computer person, having worked with computers all of high school, you know, I just look at the electronics. I love the electronics. I looked at it and saw that it was not where it should have been, so I didn't turn it.
You're doing great, man. You're maneuvering great.
Maneuvering's not bad. I'm trying to stay on the inside of the track. That front part is really getting hairy. There's 3 cars tied up in there.
I know.
A lot of debris. I'm trying not to.
There's about 8 tires inside of turn 1.
Is there?
Yeah, in the infield.
Wow. So I don't know. I mean, it's nutty.
All right, ready? You're good.
You're clear.
Preparations was thinking, well, how much gasoline do we need? Do you need a full tank? And we asked Randy about that. And I think he said, no, maybe about a quarter tank. You know, we calculated it. You know, you're really not expecting to go that far. You're expecting to go as far as, you know, maybe 3 gallons will take you. But, you know, at the time, it seems like you got to be all full up and ready to go. But in terms of gas, it really doesn't take that much. It's funny how much tire you chew up next to how much gas that you need. Now this Batman guy was funny because he just attracts attention to himself, and that means that, you know, anything he does to irritate somebody, they're going to remember him. You know, he could have been one of 50 other generic cars out there, but you know, him with his nice design and his little flashing light on top and everything, he just makes himself a target. He just says, hey, here I am, I'm in your way, and you know, it just makes you want to get him.
don't know why, but there was kind of some satisfaction when I saw Batman dart in front of the Eggplant and go off the track. It kind of gives me a good warm feeling inside if that happens to Batman.
Session on the front stretch. The 55 Zachary Wood out of Georgia has folded in the nose of that automobile. The 0 to the right out of St. Albans has shut down. Now he's got it ready, fired and rolling.
You know, you got in for that fourth pit stop, and I'm just wondering how many tires we got left, how much longer can all this hold on. You got fenders that are folding in on you, and the vehicle was not going to hold together much longer, but we just kept at it. That little thing just seemed like it was just trying desperately to hang on. It was gotten tired, but for just a little while longer, crunching and bunching, going all around. I think one of the most dangerous points in the race is the re-entry to the track from the pits, because, you know, there's really no break in the traffic. These guys aren't running around as a pack. You know, they are spread out for the entire length of the track. They're not slowing down. Just before they get to the pits, they're not looking for you. They're looking to get around that car that's sitting as an obstacle in the middle of the track. You're going slow. You're just asking to be hit right there.
There, and then somebody nails me from the side, spins out the front, nearly runs me right off. I mean, I love you guys. I missed you, but will you stop doing this? Set. You guys ready? You ready?
Yeah, look.
Hold on. Not bad. It's on the inside, so. Okay, so. Bring it back. For shit, I've got no. Your front end is all screwed up. I'm just inclined to call it. I'm just inclined to call it at this point. I mean, I can't hurt to sit out there.
They'll pull you straight.
I just have one question. Are you having fun out there?
Oh, it's a fucking blast.
Well, then what are you doing here doing?
Go for it.
What are you doing here? Go out and have some more fun. Oh, fun.
If the Eggplant had a personality trait, persistent, just persistent. There were a number of times when I thought the Eggplant was done and it was over, and one of those times I couldn't believe it. The Eggplant is up against the wall and backing back out into cars that are coming on the straightaway. I was just simply amazed that the Eggplant was back in the race.
As the two gets rolling again, the two of Philip Stevens out of Barry, after knocking the 14 into the middle of next Tuesday.
Just the same.
Oh, the two's coming at him again. Oh, and again he gets him. The two of Philip Stevens gets the 114 again on the main straightaway. Perhaps this time his day is done.
I don't know if the tires matter right now.
Yeah.
And man, you pulled in there and turned it off, and it looked like a roast beef sandwich that had just been left in the rain. That car was just done. We had no more tires. Even if we had, there was no way to get one on there because the sheet metal was so crunched up. There was nothing to do but sit and marvel at what a dead Eggplant looks like. Had a whopping good time.
Well, the Eggplant was something else. Even as the fluids poured out of the Eggplant onto the asphalt, she gave more than she got. She was successful at Thunder Road. Been nice talking to you. See you around, y'all.
Tell me what you're trying to say when you look at me. Oh, that way. Consequences of my action, surely based on your attraction. Oh, honey, I see you walking. Let your legs do the talking.